Well, hello. What's up, y'all? We back again. Woo. Now we have the former state's attorney, man, Mosby. Um, basically, was under scrutiny and all of this. Basically, she stole money from the city to buy properties, and right now they want to offer her, but they offer her 40 years. She didn't take the 40 years, so she's trying to get a pardon by Biden or whoever. She's just trying to make an escape route for the situation. So, we're about to get into it. We just about to get into it. That's all I got to say. Because my thing is, these people take these positions and they do stuff that they shouldn't do, and then they turn around and want to get an easy escape route. They don't want to sit there and deal with the situations. They come in. If you get jail time, do it. Because if it was anybody else, we would have to do it. How you are different from us? That's just the question. How are you are different from us? Just because you ran and you was a state's attorney and this and that, you still a person. Because at the end of the day, if we did the things that you done, we'll be held accountable. And she need to be held accountable. All of these people, women or not women, I'm a woman too. I did jail time and all this stuff for the things that I did also. So at the end of the day, when you fuck up, you gotta man up. You fuck up, man up. Take your fucking charge. That's what they used to say back in the day. Take your charge. Take your fucking charge. Like at the end of the day, now you scared to go to jail, but you weren't scared to spend the money in the way that the money wasn't supposed to be spent, and you did what you wanted to with it. And then the husband he ran up for election too. He wanted, because he was in charge. He was trying to be like a commissioner or something. That ain't happen. They claim they trying to get a divorce and all of this stuff, so it wouldn't look bad for his campaign. But it still didn't matter because didn't nobody listen. You was with her when she did the dirt she did. Why would somebody run for you? Come on now. Come on now. Like, make all this stuff make sense. These people that we elect, some of them is fucked up in their head. And you think we gonna let you just, no. My whole thing is, I love us as black folks. I want to see us succeed. But at the end of the day, we need somebody that's gonna be for real and that's gonna make us prosper. Some of these people, just because you have political background, political interest, and we vote for you, that don't mean that you're the one for the job. Because the job is not fulfilled and the job has not been done. And then you sat there and stole money and used it for your own greater good. How is that good for us? Where does that benefit the us people? How? But she went up on rolling. I ain't see what she said, but we about to tap into it. in real time and see what she said. Because I don't know. Again, like I said, I didn't watch it. This one here just came to, like, it's been going on. So we about to get into it, y'all. We about to get into it. Cause I'm like, my whole thing is, I'm down for the women, but they just keep on fucking us over. They just keep on fucking us over. I ain't even gonna lie. They just keep on fucking us over. We vote y'all in and y'all do nothing but shit on us. Y'all don't do, right. And I ain't gonna lie. Half of them I be voting because I'm a woman. She's a woman. And I'm like, okay, a lot of women know how to take care of business. So I'm thinking like, all right, so boom. All right, we're gonna vote. Da da da, boom, boom, boom. And this is the stuff that happens. So we're gonna get in the first clip with the news. Let's see what the news talking about first.
23rd, a week from tonight, former Baltimore City State's Attorney Marlyn Mosby is set to be sentenced now for mortgage fraud and perjury. Her lawyers and prosecutors pushing the judge on what sentence she will get. Prosecutors asking Mosby to serve 20 months in prison, said in a filing today, quote, Mosby has repeatedly and publicly demonstrated that she accepts no responsibility for her actions, has no respect for this court's rulings, and lacks honesty with the public and candor before this court. And Mosby has launched a public campaign for a pardon, claiming she was unjustly convicted in her trials and says she's done nothing wrong and nothing illegal. Her lawyers filing today said in part, quote, Ms. Mosby has a First Amendment right to state her opinion on the prosecution in a case. She has a continuing constitutional right to proclaim her innocence and protest the prosecution.
Well, y'all heard it. There it goes. I'm just like, yo, every time we try to sit here and give the women, so as myself, I'm not gonna sit here and just like act like it's just saying it's me. Cause it seems like the women is just fucking up. It just seems like the women is fucking up. They put us in, give us a job, and we don't do the job. We fuck over the job. We do the job, but we use the job to our disadvantage and steal from the job and do what the fuck we want to do with it. Come on now, like, where's the irony in this? Like, at the end of the day, like, we had a mayor that fucked up. We had 3 women mayors that fucked up. 3 women mayors in Baltimore that fucked up. Doing the same thing Tiffany Henyard doing. It seems like, I don't know. But they sit up there and say that women can't do the job and this, that, and third. And I'm kind of, I ain't going to say that I'm going to say that we can't, but what is going on? Come on, ladies. Come on, ladies. What are we doing? Like at the end of the day, what are we doing? This shit is just blowing me. You get one little job and you just all right. So anyway, Miss Marilyn Mosby, she went on to the Roller Show and went on there and had. I'm just saying I'm about to show y'all what happened because so you heard what the news said, but she went on Roller Show and this is how it went.
Judge Lydia K. Grigsby will sentence former Baltimore State's attorney Marlyn Mosby, who was convicted of mortgage fraud and perjury. She's facing up to 40 years in prison. Today, though, a number of attorneys, 50 some odd attorneys, came out publicly calling for President Biden to pardon her. Go to my iPad, please. This was a statement released by attorney Ben Crump. Where he noted that it says National Civil Rights and Personal Injury Attorney Ben Crump, lead attorney Jeff Trevelyan Jr., attorney Barbara Onwine, attorney Barry Scheck, and more than 50 other attorneys are urging President Joe Biden to pardon former Baltimore City Attorney Marlyn Mosby. As the release says, Attorney Mosby is one of several Black female progressive prosecutors who have been targets of a disturbing political agenda for standing up for communities of color and for advancing progressive causes. Mosby's vocal opposition to the previous administration sending in federal troops to arrest protesters in the community following the murder of George Floyd and her efforts to hold law enforcement accountable following the killing of Freddie Gray appear to have fueled retaliation. Crump and 50 plus other attorneys listed below are calling on President Biden to rectify this injustice immediately by partnering Marlyn Mosby. She joins us right now along with Attorney Monique Presley. Got to have both of you here. First, there's some things we can't obviously talk about because everything that you say leading up to sentencing can be factored in. So you've got U.S. attorneys, you got the judge all paying attention to all of that. When you started, did you think this is where you would be ending up? When, of course, when Freddie Gray happened and people were demanding justice, and when you chose to charge those officers, that's when, and all of a sudden folks came after your law license and all the different attacks. It's a whole different worldview now than where you were then.
It absolutely is a whole different world. I mean, when you go into a position understanding and recognizing that prosecutors are one of the most important stakeholders in the criminal justice system, we decide who's going to be charged with. They're going to be charged with, what sentence recommendations we're going to make. We make a determination as to whether someone gets into the criminal justice system in the first place. And when you go into it with the heart and the passion to reform the criminal justice system, you don't ever think that you're going to be on the other side of that, right? I went into this with the concept of representing the ideals of what this country is supposed to represent: freedom, democracy, justice. And so to now have that system, which I was attempting to balance the scales and ensure equality for everyone, is now being used against me. It is a very sobering sort of moment.
And over the last 15, 18 months, you're going to court. Your first group of attorneys have to leave. Then you got a second group of attorneys. Mm-hmm. You are then going through divorce. Then you're dealing with the trial. Then you deal with the conviction. That is a lot, personally, to have to contend with. That's then, of course, losing the race as well. So it's personal and professional, all collapsing, if you will, at the same time.
So I mean, to be honest with you, it's been mind-boggling. You know.
All collapsing, if you will, at the same time.
So I mean, to be honest with you, it's been.
So yeah, the husband is definitely, he filed for divorce and all of this stuff. But my whole thing is, you was right there with that lady when she the fuck stole the money and lied about it. You was there with her. Now you want to run when shit get tough. The whole husband. This wasn't a boyfriend. This is a husband. And then he gonna sit up there and run for like a city council. Nigga, please. Ain't nobody, boy, sit the fuck down. Ain't nobody voting for you. You don't look good. You left that lady when shit was looking fucked up and when she was down and out and all of that stuff and all the pieces was crumbling on her. Instead of you being a man, standing up for your wife, you want to break out. And then you want to sit up there and run for some. If you don't, what you're not even a man. You said, let's get back into it.
It's definitely been a storm. I think that when
Stuff
I
be
think of
killing me,
all
yo.
that I've been through,
That shit ain't right.
and
Don't
you've kind
do
of
that.
mentioned
Right.
it, the thing that is most sobering to me is that this is more about my children, right? Yesterday, my ex-husband, I was in a 25-year relationship, and I want to be very clear, like this attack has been lodged against me to break me psychologically, break me physically, spiritually, financially. Like my whole entire savings has been depleted fighting these bogus allegations and now this wrongful conviction. But the worst part is that my children, my ex-husband just yesterday lost his presidential race for city council. And my little girls came into my room and they were devastated. And I said, it's okay, baby. At the end of the day, this is just an election. And in my mind, I'm thinking it's not like he's fighting for his liberty. It's going to be okay. And what my babies said to me, they're 13 and 15, is I don't want dad to go through what you've been through for the past 2 years.
Now, seriously, my whole thing is he rolled out. Yeah, your ex-husband. Like I said, he was running for city council. The election was just what? Last week? That was the primary. He ain't gonna be in there. He had a 6% vote. Get the fuck. Nigga, I'ma just say like this. He didn't get a vote because how he treated you when you was going down and when shit started like coming after you and everything was just like crashing. He left. Don't no man get no vote for that. If he stuck by your side and held your hand and was there for you, and we seen that with the public eye, yeah, we'd have been like, oh yeah, he's a good man. But soon shit started shaking and starting to crumble, shit started falling to pieces. This bitch, he gets low. 25 years. Y'all was together for 25 years, and this is what you do. And guess what? God don't like ugly, and that's why he ain't gonna make it to no city council. He ain't making it. He come in the city. That's it. Fuck as far as counseling. Good fuck. No, yo. People seen how he treated this girl, this young lady, his wife. Regardless, you was there when we all know you was there when she fucking lied and purchased and stole the money. You was there with her. So now that she got in trouble, you was like a scatter rat. You got the fuck out of there. On a first string smoking. You don't do that. You don't do that. Man, that was fucked up. And that's why ain't nobody vote for him.
The depression, the isolation, the feeling of abandonment, when everybody around you is now villainized you and made you out to be some sort of corrupt public official, when all that I did was what 35,000 other people did nationally, 739 in the city of Baltimore, right? Like I withdrew my own retirement savings. This is not PPP loans. This is not COVID relief funding. This is me trying to build a better future for my children and understanding and recognizing that they ultimately have been the one to sacrifice the most, and to now know that the government is not happy with the disillusion of my marriage, the disillusion of my political career, but they're still coming after me in a way in which they want to take my sole asset, the only asset that I have, and they also want to put me in prison. I'm facing up to 40 years, but they want to and are recommending that I go to jail for me withdrawing my own retirement savings, which again, in and of itself is ridiculous.
You talked about, again, the personal battles. So here you are, a public official. And when you're in the public official, you're in the public eye.
Absolutely.
And then all of these things are happening off air, behind the scenes as well. And while all of this is going on, you're trying to sit here and maintain sanity. I've seen you at different times at different events in the last several years. But for people who don't quite understand what that is like, and what you have to endure, walk folks through, and how have you tried to maintain sanity?
To be honest with you, I think sometimes I still think I'm losing my mind, but I thank God, for the isolation. I thank God to be honest, I've tried to find the beauty in this traumatic sort of experience. And I wouldn't be able to do that on my own. It was because of the isolation. It was because of the people that I loved unconditionally that showed me the conditions of their love. It was because of the abandonment that I felt, the depression that I went through, the toxic addictions, me trying to numb my pain, that I was able to get through all of that through God and to get closer and to come out of this crucible stronger, wiser, and more empowered in my faith. And so I don't credit anything but my faith, and knowing that at the end of the day, I know that in that role and in this position, I know that I've done nothing illegal. I know that I've done nothing criminal. I know that I've done nothing wrong. I know that I've been wrongly convicted. And I know that.
Wow. This is another thing that I hate about these people. They don't want to stand up. You crazy. But this is what I hate with these people that be with this politics stuff. You're caught. Yeah, but you caught, just face up to it. At the end of the day, I ain't did nothing, and I ain't did this, and I ain't did that. Yes, the fuck you did. The feds, that's why she in trouble. The feds came down on her. Why is you lying? You did what you did, and your husband was with you, and that's why I'm mad, because when they started coming down on her, this was going on for a while. She just got sentenced. This lady been out of, she wasn't a state's attorney for 3 years. She been going to court back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now they trying to sentence her 40 years. But my whole thing is, she's sitting up there lying like Tiffany is too. Like she said on Roller Show and Light too. I played the clip for the news. I can play another one. She lying. I don't understand. My whole thing is, if it was you or me, they gonna give us the whole motherfucking gas. Yeah, they gonna send us all the way to fuck to the end of the jail. Why these bitches? No, she want a pardon now. She want a pardon for Biden. She want this. She want that. No, bitch, go to fuck the jail. You want to steal? You want to fucking come on now? Give them their time. Cause if it was us, they're gonna give us ours. What makes y'all different? You you are you're a thief. You're a criminal. Basically, that like at the end of the day, boom. But the only thing about Marilyn, she do not have no background of doing any kind of things. This girl never got in trouble. She must have grew up all the way up in Dundalk somewhere, because you know Dundalk people um see, we gotta think about Dundalk because Dundalk people don't get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So she must have lived in Dundalk, grew up in Dundalk, because she don't have no background of doing any of this. And that same husband probably sat there and was on her motherfucking side, like, yeah, baby, let's do this, let's do that, and let's do that, let's get this, let's get that, da da da, and boo boo boo. And I swear, I know that's probably what it was. He encouraged her to do a lot of this shit. She gonna be a talker in the federal prison. I advise befriend the biggest and the baddest bitch in prison. How much money was in full? I think it was 100,000. Hundred. I don't know. We gonna get back into that. It was a lot. She was kind of like with her husband though. He just divorced her last year. This shit got found out. This shit got found out in 2020. You feel what I'm saying? And now you want to get a divorce and all of this shit. No, bitch, I wouldn't have gave him shit. You did it too. You was with me, motherfucker. You go there, I go there, you go there. Fuck you mean? You was with me, bitch. We gonna ride this shit out together. Let's get back into it, though. Let's go. Let's get it.
That the work that I was doing has everything to do with why I'm in the position that I'm in. When 35,000 other people nationally have done the same thing, and I'm the only person in the position, I'm being selectively prosecuted and now facing 40 years in prison, I have to understand and recognize that it's greater than me. It's not about me. It's about what I represent to so many others. And so when you put that in perspective, then you kind of understand and you can see the beauty and appreciate and have gratitude in this traumatic experience.
This is why I stopped shopping on Amazon, and you should too. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch this first. Watch.
More than a year ago,
I'm gonna say this though. I don't think that she deserved 40 years. 40 years is a lot. I don't think she deserved that. Give that lady at least like 3 or 2. I don't think 40 years is that, because no, not no 40. I think they went way over the board with the 40 years. Ah, yeah. 40 fucking years. That's unbelievable. I don't know. I don't know what kind of tech they got on her, or like she said, they tried to bring her down and all of that stuff. And I kind of believe some of the stuff that she's saying, because you already know if you don't go with the agenda of the government and what they want you to do, they will take you the fuck down. And we all know that. We've seen it plenty times. But I'm going to just say this. I don't know what kind of position that she was facing. You know, like I said, I know she was a state's attorney and all of that. But at the end of the day, I don't know who was her handlers or what was going on and what did they make her do or say and how that went down. But yeah.
And a number of other Black female prosecutors went to St. Louis to stand with Kim Gardner.
Yep.
And Kim Gardner has since resigned because of attacks against her. Aramis Ayala is no longer a prosecutor there in Florida. Monique Worrell, who replaced her, was removed by DeSantis. She's now running for re-election.
Yep.
Kim Foxx in Chicago went through a divorce herself, opted not to run for re-election.
Ku Klux Klan came outside her office and demanded her resignation.
I mean, and so y'all had this sisterhood. And when you now look over the last several years, what has happened to all of you, I don't think people quite understand this national attack constantly on progressive prosecutors, but especially Black female prosecutors.
I think you bring up a really great point. I think that there is definitely an attack. I think when you look at the prior administration, the Trump administration, whether under William Barr, where he explicitly went on record and said these social justice rogue prosecutors will do anything within our power of the Department of Justice to go after them jurisdictionally, those prosecutors that aren't prosecuting whole areas of the law, right, jurisdictionally, or whether they're individual politicians, they did just that. It's a larger sort of picture. And you've already talked about it. Fonnie Willis, Tish James, right? So many of us that are all under the same sort of ire of this prior administration and understanding that and recognizing that. And I have to say, the vitriol for Black women prosecutors in these roles is very different than the progressive prosecutors.
Right.
Because the progressive prosecutors like Chesa Boudin and, Larry Krasner.
Or Andrew Warren.
Right? They've come after us. And it hasn't just been the Trump administration, but the Trump administration and the cronies. So I had very public disputes with Larry Hogan, right now running for Senate. This is something that is very much calculated, and the playbook is executed perfectly. It's written and then executed perfectly on everyone else. And so understanding that it's a larger sort of mechanism in which they can try to negate. And Trump just last week came out and said, what is he going to do? He said that he's going to give full immunity to police officers, right?
And said they should be able to do their job.
They should be able to do their jobs, but he allowed them to kill with impunity.
Yeah, he said full immunity.
So when you have prosecutors, and I was one of the first prosecutors to attempt to hold police officers accountable for the death of a Black man, right? After Freddie Gray, we successfully prosecuted 33 police officers after Freddie Gray, right, who were violating the rights of citizens in Baltimore City. When it comes to the gun trace task force, these were corrupt rogue officers planting guns and drugs on citizens for decades. My office was the one who not only drafted the legislation, but lobbied for the legislation and passed the legislation and vacated 800 convictions as a result of those rogue police officers. I mean, it can go on and on. I started the first conviction integrity unit in the entire state of Maryland, where we did reinvestigations into claims of actual innocence, where I had exonerated 13 innocent Black men who collectively served 300 years in prison for crimes they didn't commit. Now being on the other side of that is a sobering sort of reality. And having that system that we were attempting, and not just me, but my sisters all across this country, attempting to equalize, to now be used against you. And the progressive sort of attacks against others, when it comes to Black women, they use the criminal justice system to come against us.
I mentioned the support that you have been receiving, not just from the lawyers today, but some of the other folks in the community, folks across the country. What has that been like? Have folks been reaching out to you on social media, privately, email, things along those lines, giving you encouragement?
I can just tell you I'm so humbled and I'm so honored. I'm so grateful, to be at the lowest point in your life and to have everything taken away from you, or to be at rock bottom, and to pray and to ask God, just to question why I'm going through what I'm going through. And then for God to send earth angels into my life, like Monique, like Angela Rye, like so many of the local sort of supporters, the Tyrones and the Sheenas and the Hakis of the world who came in and just believed in me and understood that this is an injustice that could happen easily to them, you know, is beside me, and recognizing that this is so much greater than me. I'm so humbled. 14 civil rights organizations have signed on to support the pardon request. 58 attorneys, have signed on. I'm just so humbled. And there's been over 40,000 people who have signed that petition, who understand that this is an injustice. I'm grateful to you, Roland. You've always been there for me through thick and thin, and provided a platform for me to be able to express, what's happening, the real, not any misinformation in the media. And so, I'm humbled and I'm grateful.
Do you regret
leaving old toxic and negative energy? Yeah.
Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is all new on MTV.
So what you want?
Baltimore is not that daggone corrupt, y'all. What the fuck that ass lady talking? That's fucking. That's her story. That's her story. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all say Baltimore is very corrupt. I ain't gonna say it's corrupt. What was the night she told on the stand? I gotta walk my dog. I gotta walk my dog. Yeah, but Baltimore is not that daggone corrupt. Hey. It is. I'm telling you, it is. Son is not corrupt. If you mind your motherfucking business, be more careful. You ain't got to worry about shit. You out there. But anyway, again, like I was saying, I ain't gonna say, it's all in how you make it. I've been here for all my life. I've been here for all my motherfucking life. You feel what I'm saying? And I've been to other places and all of that shit, but it is what it is. I'm not saying that I don't feel as though that she was targeted. She tried to blame it on the Freddie Gray situation. I don't feel as though she was targeted. She did some things that she shouldn't have did, and then her husband did some things that he shouldn't have did. You feel what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Like, you have police officers out here basically working overtime, just like Dalton. Only thing, she's not the mayor. She was a state's attorney. And they was letting this stuff go on. Y'all making side hustles and all of this stuff. No, that's not what it's about. You got to be real to your community.
going to public service?
I don't. I always said that justice is worth the price paid for its pursuit. And everything that I did in that role as state's attorney, that was my passion. I did it for the right reasons, and I wouldn't do anything differently.
So for Monique, people who don't understand, who maybe didn't follow this trial, we were covering it, things along those lines. What was the basic crust of the government's case that they accused and eventually convicted Marlyn of?
So first, thank you, Roland, for having us. I appreciate you and using your platform in this manner. One of the reasons that Angela Rye and others of us came together is not because she didn't have quality attorneys, Marlyn does, but as organizers who are part of the civil rights and justice community, it's important to us that people understand that the role of the prosecutor as someone with tremendous amount of discretion, they can charge what they want to charge, Roland. They can go in there. The grand jury belongs to the prosecutor. Everybody knows that. So that works for us and against us, but it works against us way more than it's for us. So when you go from having someone like a Marlyn Mosby, who is willing to look at reformative justice, who's willing to look at rehabilitation for those who it's appropriate for, when you have someone who's willing to look at charging police officers when they commit murders on the street, and you take that and you target that and replace it with someone like a Leo Wise, who's willing to target people because of that kind of work, who are willing to look at people who are progressive and say, oh, yes, that's who we need to get to next. That's where we are now. So that's exactly what happened in this case. Anytime you've got 35,000 plus people in the United States who are activating the provisions that were provided through COVID relief in order to access their own retirement funds, which is all that Attorney Mosby did. She accessed funds that she had been putting in. Was it $800 every 2 weeks?
$780 every 2 weeks.
$780 every 2 weeks for years until you build a nest egg, which is what this so-called American dream is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be that you go to school, you work hard, you save your money, and then when the opportunity presents itself for you to access your own funds and create for a future for your children, you do it. That was her plan. That was what she was doing. That was what 35,000 other people were doing, 730 something people in Baltimore. And what the government says is that she didn't qualify to be able to do that because she didn't demonstrate a legal standard to show adverse financial consequences or adverse financial hardship, even though the term is not even supposed to be used in this context, in order to justify withdrawal of the funds. Now, Roland, I've been on your show a million years. I'm a stickler for let's figure out what the law says. And sometimes I take positions that are contrary to the popular one because I'm saying, well, this is what the law says. And so if this is what the law says, then this is what we were bound to do when we worked from there. But there was no law. There was no standard. The judge actually didn't have to, but chose to tell a jury, use your common sense to figure out what it means. Now, anybody can look up right now on Google. And if you look up jury and common sense, it'll say, don't do that. Don't ever do that. Asking a jury to rely on their common sense for something that should be defined by code or by judicial decision making is the absolute wrong thing to do because a jury is full of lay people. The jury is supposed to make a fact-based decision. The judge is supposed to apply the law. Am I right or am I wrong, Madam Prosecutor?
So I think you're right. And I think one of the things that she's emphasizing is that unlike financial hardship, right, which has been legally defined, and there's precedents that's already been set, this was a provision that was created under the CARES Act that was defined as adverse financial consequence. This is not a financial hardship. This is adverse financial consequence. That has never been legally defined. When we got to trial, the government's witness, the director of the compensation board for Baltimore City, stated on the record at my trial that the only thing, he never gave anybody any sort of direction, none of the 739 other people, other than what was said in that statute. And he said the way that he defined adverse financial consequence was if you suffered a $50 adversity or more. I didn't think I needed to take the stand at that point, right? If the government put on evidence that I suffered more than a $50 adversity. And so,
but it's not even really about I know that it's about what happened at Marlyn's trial, right, but it's about the fact that there were not 738 other trials. And it's about the fact nationally that there were not 34,999 other trials, because it's akin to, 35,000 people, that's whole cities. That's whole cities in the United States. So imagine if you're living in a town and everybody does the same thing. Everybody receives the same advice. Everybody uses the same provision. And then the government comes in and says, yo, mama, Your mama did it, and we are prosecuting her. That is casebook targeted prosecution. That's casebook malicious prosecution. That's casebook targeted, isolated, ill-meaning prosecution of a citizen.
So there were two trials. So there was obviously one trial that dealt with perjury. And then the second dealt with mortgage fraud. And this was the press release that the Department of Justice sent out, where they said that Marlyn made a false statement in an application for a $428,000 400 mortgage to purchase a condominium in Longboat Key, Florida. As part of the application, Mosley falsely stated that she had received a $5,000 gift from her husband to be applied to the purchase of the property. They then said that, oh, that wasn't the case, that she gave him $5,000, he gave her five back. That was
yes, and at trial
that was the case.
And at trial, the testimony came in from the people that advised her that she had been advised that it was appropriate for the gift to come from her then husband, and he testified at trial about the same. So what we're having, and Roland, if you listen to the press release, and I don't know.
I got it right here.
I don't know if we've even called it out in this manner, but the one thing that I want to say that I know that she can't is there's this whole prevailing theme that Black women aren't supposed to have money, that we're not supposed to have savings, that we're not supposed to make smart business decisions. We definitely aren't supposed to have no property that we're buying in Florida while we are government service. We're supposed to be impoverished.
Stay in
and
our
we're
place.
not supposed to be thinking for ourselves. We're not supposed to be taking advantage of opportunities. So that's why we can have a former president with 91 sundry indictments all over the United States for doing things like crimes against America, for subverting elections. And he's not facing up to 40 years anywhere right now. Like, he's not up for sentencing anywhere right now, but we've got this Black woman who was trying to help us. And the reason why that matters to me is because I sit here as like a career 30-year defense-minded person, defense attorney. Anybody can check the record and know I've never prosecuted anybody for anything. This is my sister. It is necessary. We say all the time, we need progressive prosecutors who look like us. We need progressive prosecutors who understand us. We need progressive prosecutors who come from our community. But then when they get attacked, we have this side eye, we have this mentality where we're tearing down the very thing that we asked for. All those initiatives that she tried to do and did do successfully, her people who follow her, who don't look like us, who don't talk like us, who don't understand us, they will not do those same things and are not doing those same things. And the reason why that matters in this case is because of this.
Most traditional buy now, pay later options have 4 fixed payments that stack higher and higher.
Anytime you got the NAACP, Until Freedom, Black Voters Matter, and 12 others who all think the same thing at the same time and sign the same piece of paper.
Like, be for real. Listen, if anybody been watching anything about this murder, Mosby, anything, and what's going on with her, she pleaded guilty to some of the stuff. So I don't even know why she's sitting up here acting like, let's just keep on going. I guess. Let's just keep on going. Because it's a crap.
You know,
bullshit.
Like, there's no harm, no foul. There's no debating the clear call that she requires justice. When you've got lawyers like Barry Shett from the Innocence Project, yes, people know him from his being part of the Dream Team, but somebody who is data specific like that, somebody who's devoted their life to defending innocence, when he's signing on with an Attorney Crump, with a Barbara Arnwine, with a DeMario, you can look, I mean, there are 5 former National Bar presidents who have signed on the same piece of paper, not just saying we agree that she should be pardoned. Right. They represent her. That's her lawyers now. So I say all that to say, yes, They accused her of perjury, for following advice she was given, and for utilizing money from a gift from her own husband. They accused her of defrauding the government for taking her own funds that she had saved for her and her children. And she's supposed to be what sets an example. She's supposed to be the chilling factor, so anybody who's bold enough to stand up against the establishment gets the lesson.
Obviously, when it comes to a pardon, that comes down to the President of the United States.
Yeah.
Department of Justice, they ought to do the reviews, they make recommendations. So what you have though is this is a DOJ prosecution. And so I take it folks have been trying to get to President Biden because ultimately his decision. He does not even require, Trump didn't even talk to the Department of Justice. He doesn't even have to listen to anybody. He can make any decision on his own.
Yes, he can. And the reason why that matters is this. Pardon power belongs to the Chief Executive Officer of the United States, so that if every other part of the justice system fails, a citizen of this country, or even an immigrant of this country who is falsely accused and convicted, still has a place that they can go. We are going to that place now because the system has failed Attorney Mosby. So we are asking for people to sign on to the petition, asking that the president, and you can go to justiceformarylynmosby.com to find the petition. And don't get me wrong, these are people who don't want the prior administration. These are not people who want to see Trump in office again. These are people who understand that President Biden has a unique opportunity to right a wrong and to support the people who supported him and his administration and its objectives. There has been no greater champion than Attorney Mosby. She formed and framed her whole progressive system in her own prosecutor's office after the work that our vice president did in California, and was a staunch supporter of that work when people were out there saying Kamala the cop. So we're asking them now to look and say, look, here's your supporter, here's your emulator, here's someone who has done good work for you, who does not deserve what she's being given now. And we're asking them to fix it.
Questions from two of my panelists. Rebecca Carruthers, Vice President, Fair Election Center out of Washington, D.C. Rebecca, go ahead.
Thank you all for being on the show tonight. Marlyn, do you regret taking out the mortgages for the Florida homes?
Yeah, Marilyn's not going to answer because that goes to the facts of the case. But what I can say is that her lawyers have said in her papers and in the sentencing paperwork that she doesn't stand in a place of regret for doing what she absolutely had a right to do. And she did deliver testimony in that regard, but I can't let her say it here because her lawyers will hamstring me if I let her speak to the facts of the case while the judge and everybody else.
The only thing that I will add is that, yes, the federal government was able to come back with this. But let me be very clear that this was something.
Body language speaks and says everything. Did y'all see her face and see how she was looking like she know what she did, but I don't think she deserved no 40 years for that. I don't think so. But for the nosies, I'm going to get into this. For the nosies, we're going to get into this real quick, because this is what's going on.
Welcome to this special edition of CBS News Baltimore. I'm Denise Koch. The legal saga involving former Baltimore City State's Attorney Marlyn Mosby is one we have been following for you for years. Mosby, the former Baltimore City State's attorney, who was once considered a rising star in the political world, is now set to go on trial this week on federal perjury charges. Now, the perjury charges accuse Mosby of lying to get a COVID hardship withdrawal from her retirement account in order to buy vacation homes, and that she allegedly provided false information on mortgage applications for those Florida vacation properties in order to get lower interest rates. This trial is the first of two. She will also go on trial for mortgage fraud. Mosby has always maintained her innocence. Here is a look back at how this case has developed. In January of 2022, Marlyn Mosby, Baltimore's top prosecutor at the time, was indicted by a federal grand jury on charges of perjury and making false mortgage applications. 9 months later, in September of 2022, Mosby's trial was pushed back. This was the first of several delays that would come over the next year. This first delay was in connection to an expert witness, and it was following Mosby's loss in the Democratic primary in her attempt to remain in position as Baltimore City State's attorney. In January of this year, there was a surprising twist in Mosby's case when a judge allowed her entire defense team to withdraw. The judge then appointed a public defender to represent Mosby. This resulted in another delay in the trial. And finally, this past September, Mosby's defense attorney scored a major victory when they got her federal trial moved out of Baltimore and split into two cases, one for perjury, the other for mortgage fraud. Over the next half hour, we will take you into the WJZ archives as we look back at our coverage since these charges were announced. So here is WJZ investigator Mike Helgren's report from January 2022.
Longtime Baltimore City State's Attorney Marlyn Mosby has been indicted on multiple counts of perjury and making false statements on loan applications for vacation homes. The federal government alleges she also took a withdrawal from her 401k account that was improper, saying she needed the money through a COVID-19 hardship withdrawal. Mosby makes more than $200,000 a year on the job.
I couldn't tell you what would place a target. I can just tell you that in this position, I'm going to always do what I believe is in the best interest of my city and my community and public safety. Whether that makes me a target is on someone else.
The federal investigation has been going on for months as the U.S. Attorney's Office has been combing through the top prosecutor's personal financial records. Representatives at the U.S. Attorney's Office previously declined to comment.
We never discuss the existence or non-existence of any investigation.
Mosby has long denied any wrongdoing in the case.
So I'm not going to discuss that matter. I would refer you to my attorney.
Here is an image from the indictment of Mosby saying that she has experienced adverse financial consequences stemming from the coronavirus, including being quarantined and having reduced work hours. There were two withdrawals from her 401k account that the government alleges were improper, one for $40,000 and another for $50,000, made between May and December of 2020. The counts carry a total of 70 years in prison if Mosby is found guilty. Previously, her attorney alleged she was being targeted politically.
So she's been sued about the police before. She certainly stood up and prosecuted cops for Freddie Gray.
On September 15, 2022, the first of several delays for Mosby's trial happened, and a new trial date was set. The judge also denied a motion to dismiss the perjury charges. Here is WJZ investigator Mike Helgren's.
Oh, damn. That's all I can say is damn. Damn. So, the way that it's looking to me, you're not then and you're not now. Can't nobody, I mean, damn. Let's get back to rolling. This is some serious stuff. Back then, she could have faced it 70 years. Now, you looking at 40 for basically lying about properties that was funded by the city and lying about stealing money. Again, something that Tiffany Henyard is doing. But only difference is she's the mayor and she was the state's attorney. Like, make it make sense. Like, and it's always the black women that get up here and just do the worst. I'm tired of it. I swear to God. Yeah, babe. Oh, you're on the phone.
That was being done ever since I charged the officers in Freddie Gray. These folks have been coming for my law license. The past 4 years, they've combed every aspect of my life. They've gone through my taxes, my charitable donations, my campaign contributions. They've gone to my children's dance instructors, my hairdressers. They've knocked on my neighbors' doors at 5 a.m. to interrogate them, my employees. Like, they have gone and literally tried to figure out any way to put anything on me. And this is the one thing that they come back with. And so, to the extent of what Monique has already said, all of that is already prescribed within the sentencing memos, as well as within my testimony.
Robert Patillo, host of People, Passion, Politics, News and Talk 1380 WAOK out of Atlanta, who's also running for a judicial position in Atlanta. Robert, go ahead.
The list of attorneys who are supporting you, add my name to that list, and I'll go to the website after the show to do so. This is a travesty. And beyond even the Black female prosecutors, we saw that when this Black Girl Magic movement started rising to power, we saw the immediate pushback from mayors. Think about what Mayor Lori Lightfoot went through, Mayor Bowser, Mayor Cantrell, the mayor in Baltimore who went to prison, Keisha Lance Bottoms here in Atlanta. Whenever Black female politicians rise to power and start to regulate the white supremacy power structure, we've seen this immediate reaction from the power structure to punish them. And what we see on the other side of the aisle is they take care of their own. They make sure that if you're a January 6th protester, quote unquote, that they promise to pardon those people if they return to power. What's been the response from the Department of Justice and from the administration on these calls for a pardon? Because it's very clear that they have the power to do so. It seems that we shouldn't have to petition the people that we help put in power.
We have.
Here's one thing you need to do before you buy anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon.
Haven't had a public response as of yet. I do know that there have been ongoing conversations from the group of us. I'm one of the co-organizers for Justice for Marlyn Mosby. Angela Rye is another. We have been stomping all the sidewalks, making all the calls, but it was just yesterday, Robert, that the official full pardon application was submitted to the pardon attorney with the over 50 names on it, and we will absolutely amend it to add your name. But it also came with like 700 pages of supporting documentation with over 20 letters of support that were sent to sentencing and then sent again, and we are adding affidavits of support as well. So we anxiously await hearing from them.
Jolanda Jones is an attorney out of Houston, also a Texas state representative. Jolanda, go ahead. You're on mute. Hold on, you're on mute.
You got me now?
Go ahead.
So I want to say I'm so sorry for what you're going through, Attorney Mosby. It makes me want to cry, but I will also say that you can add my name to that list. I'm actually a 29-year practicing lawyer. Criminal defense is one of the things that I do. That's the first thing I want to say. I want to help you any way that I can.
Thank you.
I also want to say that President Biden needs to pardon you. He's got issues with Black people. This is a way he can show us that he's down for us. So we know how he is when he's for people, and he's had a very esteemed group of people asking him to support you. I believe I learned that they started investigating you prior to him taking office, but they didn't indict you until I think 2022, once he was in office. Here's what I can say about prosecutors. Their greatest power is discretion.
Yep.
So you have the right to not move forward on something. And so I think that when people are peeing on us and telling us that it is raining, we need to look to make sure if it's pee. And so I'm watching with bated breath to see what President Biden does since the official pardon request was submitted on yesterday. But I'm here to help you. If you need me, reach out. Roland knows how to reach me. But based on what I've heard and based on what I've looked into, the fact that you are the only person charged federally with this, after I think you said 700 and something people where you're from did it, I absolutely believe it is retaliation for you doing what's right in the criminal justice system. And the question I have for you is, do you believe, based on your communications with other Black women who are doing great things to reform the criminal justice system, that the criminal justice reform movement has been stifled? Are people afraid? Are we going to continue to fight? Are we willing to lose stuff in order to do what's right by the people and by us?
So first and foremost, I say thank you for your support. I'm eternally grateful, especially you being another fellow attorney. You can understand the injustice from a legal perspective. You're absolutely right. I think that this administration can do something. And I had the expertise of Reed Smith and Scott Bolden, who is often on this show. And we were yelling loud, asking this investigation started under the Trump administration. And then when the Biden administration took office, we were calling and begging for them to please just allow us to go in front of the grand jury, allow us to come and talk to you. Please just look into this. And that didn't happen. But to your question, yes, this has a chilling effect. What is happening to me, the type of isolation that they've been able to create, the villainization of me and who I am, and this idea that I'm somehow a liar and a corrupt public official. None of my colleagues have wanted to touch me with a 10-foot pole. They don't want to be seen in public with me. I've had family members and friends and people that I've loved the most that have turned their backs on me. And so, yes, it creates a chilling effect, not just for the people that I loved unconditionally, but for the individuals that are in this role that can make a decision that have an impact on our lives. So yes, Roland and Monique have talked about it. Fani Willis, Tish James, Monique Worrell, Aramis Ayala, Kim Fox, Kim Gardner. The list goes on and on and on. Andrew Warren, Chesa Boudin, Larry Krasner. These are all of the progressive prosecutors that were attempting to balance the scales of justice in this country that have now been targeted in a way in which they villainize us, they isolate us, and for Black women, they criminalize us.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that. And I'll say this. We have prosecutors that are white progressive, and I say that in air quotes, who are doing things, and the government's not coming after them. They're not coming after them. And it makes me sad, and I hear people say all the time, oh, you're pulling the race card, you're pulling the race card.
At the end of the day, I just want to give Pramadonna, thank you, boo. You is a new moderator. Shout out to Pramadonna. Burning down the bridges. Yes, honey, yes. Kim Fox has annoyed us in the city of Illinois. I don't know who Kim Fox is, but I'm telling you, this lady right here, she stole some money too, and that's why I brought her up. And you know what I mean. But she's not our state's attorney anymore, anyway. But just because they tried to give her 40 years, and I don't think she should. I don't think that she should be in. I don't think 40 years. I don't think that lady shouldn't get no fucking 40 years for some goofy shit. Then that's where I'm coming from. You give me a chance. You don't give me a chance to go. How I'm giving you a chance to grow? You giving me a chance to grow. So each one teach mine. You help me, I help you. Yes, I. Kobe, chill. I don't think they outside. But yeah, yes, honey, we gotta look out for each other. My channel is for everybody. I love everybody. This is how we gonna do it over here. We ain't doing no beefing. We ain't doing none of that. If you feel as though you need to beef, you gotta go somewhere else. But yeah. But that lady that stole some money for our properties. Hey, I'm here for that. And that's another thing. I don't even know how they going to get that lady some 40, try to give her 40 years. That's an insult. They act like she killed somebody. She just died and stole a couple dollars. But she not going to get no daggone 40 years. They saying that. But she's definitely not going to get no fucking 40 years. Not a lady like that, because even though if she do go to jail, she not going to real jail. Mind you, she's a politician. She's going to be in PC. Who got to pay for that? That lady, nah. They saying that. If they give her 40 years, I'm going to be protesting for that. Because that's wrong. 40 years? She getting more years than a nigga that murdered somebody. I know you got to be kidding me. Let's get back into the video so I can end this, because that's sad. They can't do that. They better not. I'm gonna be really out there like, nah. I don't even like her because I know she stole some money. But 40 years, nah.
No, we're not pulling a race card. We're defending against your racism. You are using your belief that we are innately inferior to you in order to prosecute us and to destroy us and to destroy our families. And I tell you what, the civil rights movement is difficult. It takes courage. And I commend you for doing what needed to be done. And we are here for you when you need us.
Thank you.
Folks, this is the petition that they're asking folks to sign to seek a pardon for Marlyn Mosby. As you see, 41,944 of 45,000 signatures. If you go to the easiest place to go to, because this is campaigns.organizedfor.org.
The Justice for Marlyn Mosby.
There you go. All right, so that's easy. So justiceformarlynmosby.com. So justiceformarlynmosby.com. Then you could actually access the petition. So you see right there, and you'll see the other interviews and other information. Of course, this was going to be added on there. Y'all know that. All information on there as well. And so,
and come on the 23rd. Come to the sentencing if you're around. Come, show you.
So sentencing is May 23rd.
May 23rd, 6:30 a.m. Greenbelt District Courthouse.
It's at 8:30 a.m.?
10:30.
10:30 a.m. On May 23rd. All right then. Well, Marlyn, I appreciate you coming on the show. You know, I always had your back. So
Thank you, always.
So we'll continue to do the same, and we'll of course keep letting folks know about the petition as well.
Thank you, Roland. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
That's so fucked up. They better not get that lady no 40 fucking years, y'all. I swear to God, they better not give her no fucking 40 years, yo. I swear. But yeah, that's the end of the show tonight. That's the end of the night for me. But yeah, man, don't get that ain't no 40 years. Hit the like and subscribe and all that. It seems like people come in when we talking about Tiff. You know what I'm saying? But when we talking about some other real shit, don't nobody want to talk. Or don't nobody want to come through. You know what I'm saying? Is there a dollar amount? Well, far as I know, it was like over $100,000 that the lady supposed to had used that and put that on properties and used that on mortgages and stuff like that. So, far as I know, they seized the properties already. And like she was saying in the beginning, you gotta watch the beginning because they took everything, all her assets and everything. They took all everything. Allegedly, that's what she said out her mouth. But Pramadonna, if you go back and look, because you came in late, she said that they took all of her assets. So anyway, she claimed that she used the money that she used to basically get these rentals and pay for these mortgages and buy these homes. It was not from the city money. It was from her what she said, her 401k and something about her savings and some of her children's funds and this and the third. She claimed that she didn't use the city money, but they have documentation that you did. So documents, receipts, this not lie. All of that was brought up in the beginning of the story. But I don't think that she deserved no 40 years for that shit. Nah. Now, you know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that I'm arguing. The peanuts compared to Tiff. That's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying. But only thing, girl, like I said, you gotta rewind. But like I was saying, it's like Tiffany, but she's not a mayor. She was a state's attorney. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like you did that. You did that. Can't sit up there and lie, you know. So boom. That shit is crazy. Like at the end of the day, it's fucked up. It's crazy. It's a done ass deal. Pramadonna. So boom. Because I'm about to get up out of here. But I want you to check out this show and the RIP for my boy, Bon P. It's called Respect Life. It's on YouTube. If you like gangster stories and gangster stuff, this is where it's at. It's called Respect Life. Watch it from the very beginning. You will not be. It's almost like what's the other one that we used to watch? Not the corner. Not the corner. What's the one that they hit in Baltimore? I can't even think of it right now. But anyway, it's a good show. It's a good watch. Look at that. If you into like gangster stuff and this and the third, it's called Respect Life. Watch it from the beginning. But I'm about to get out of here. I love you. Thank you for coming through. You got your moderator. Yeah. Yes, Respect Life. That's the name of the shit, girl. You gonna be like, yeah. You might been watch that shit. Cause it's real good. It's real good. It's real good. It's like it's good. That's all I can say. Hey Major. Major. What was that show that they had did in Baltimore? The Wire. It's almost like The Wire, but it's a little bit better. That's what it is. It's almost like The Wire, but it's a little bit better. It's called Respect Life. My Doug wouldn't. My dog wasn't shit. My dog wasn't shit. Even girl, I gave my dog some milk. And yeah, I had to get that shit out of her, girl. I got a dog too, nigga. You already know. Gee, my dog be on my little page. I need to put it on some more. But yeah. I gave her a little bit of milk and some food earlier, and then because you know milk give you gas and all of that shit. So yeah, I did. Bitch, time I look, I did, yo. I gave her some milk and shit. Yes, I did. I gave her some milk and some food. Her little ass was shitty as a bitch. But yeah, it's called Respect Life, Prima Donna. It's called Respect Life. And Prima Donna, I need you to get my IG. My IG is Missy_Sanders. Hit me up on there. Cause we're gonna have all the moderators. What I call it, the moddies. We the moddies. For all that. We're gonna have a moddies conversation with all my moderators. You know what I'm saying? So yes. Yes, for all my moderators, because we got some upcoming things that I want to do for my little show. I just want to have some fun. I want to use this to have fun. You know what I'm saying? When I get all y'all together, first of all, I gotta get Prima Donna information. So that's why I said Prima Donna hit me up on IG. I already got bitch stole my look. No, I ain't got you, bitch. You need to fucking hit me up on IG too. Missy_Sanders. Put your information and all of this shit. Smash that like. It's nobody in here but us. But yeah, I need to get the information and all of that. You and Prima Donna. Everybody else I got. So yeah, we gonna have the band them off. You been there a month ago, darling. I ain't see you, boo. Just hit me up, please. Once again, please. I ain't see you. I ain't see you, baby. I'm sorry, girl. It being like, but yeah, I'm about to get up out of here. I love y'all. Everybody stay safe. You already know. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we gonna have to get together and have a mob meeting. Even if it's on Messenger or however, IG, blah, blah, blah. Definitely. Cause I got some plans for us. I got some plans for us, sis. You know what I'm saying? I don't know like how far y'all want to take it. If y'all want to be, you know what I mean? I will try to get over. All right, I believe you. You'll make it over there, prime daughter. Miss Bridges. Get the bridges. But yeah, yo, I'm out. I love y'all. And y'all be safe and take care. Who on tonight? Who on tonight, bitch? Bitch, tell my luck. Who on tonight? Because I'm ready to get off. All right, watch. You know what I'm saying? Who on tonight, boo? You don't know? Who on tonight? Because I know you be like everywhere. We be everywhere too. I ain't even gonna lie. I be like, bitch, tell my look at here. I'm in here. She. We be everywhere. I good night, Prima Donna. And that's D. I don't know who that is. Let me write that down real quick. All right. I don't know NSD, but who they be talking about? Oh, and Andy. Night and day. Peace. Girl. 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 I seen it earlier. They live tonight. Is they live tonight? All right. I'm going. I'm getting out of here. We gonna get over there. All right, boo. I see you over there. Love you, honey. Good night. Well, I see you over there. I'm going over there.